Welcome, beautiful souls. Super excited today. This is all about purpose. This is about transformation, expansion, and just some real transparency and truth bombs from myself. So, welcome. I'm Kathleen from Awakening Meraki. I am excited to talk about this topic because, this journey, there's so much, what's the right words? Noise and want and need and desire for this physical experience with the physical twin flame, right? And it takes away from the truth of this journey when we're just so centered and focused on another physical being. It's ridiculous, actually. and I can say that honestly now because of the journey I've personally been on. But when you are, when you're very, very new on this journey, or you're still coming into that awareness of, okay, it's not about this relationship, it's actually all about me, you will get to a place where you look back and you go, oh my gosh, it was ridiculous that I was so obsessive, so addictive, so seeking everywhere and doing anything humanly I could do to bring this person back and stay in my life, that you will realize that was never what you wanted to begin with. It never ever was. What you actually are seeking is yourself. What you are searching for is that inner union. You're looking for union. You're looking for something that you think and we believe is outside of us because of our programming, but the reality is it's all within. This is the balance of your own polarities. You are the twin flame. We are very, very powerful beings. And we don't even resonate how powerful we are until we're much further along this journey. And that's okay, because you have to go through the journey, however that looks for you, to really resonate with what I'm talking about. So please, this is no judgment. Please don't panic. This is just really trying to encourage people that you're coming back to self. The union must come within for anything in the external to come forward, because they are your divine mirror, as is everybody actually, but they are your true divine mirror. And this is a journey of remembrance. It's a journey of transformation. It's a journey of expansion. And any kind of relationship that you've had in this physical world won't even touch this. They are very, very different ways of operating, and you cannot push them into the same template. It just simply will not work. That is not why your masculine's here. Your masculine is here to wake you up out of all of that stuff. Remove all those egoic patterns, those layers, those parts of yourself where you were simply forgetting who you were. So anyway, that's a bit of an intro to this, but what I really want to talk about today is coming into purpose. I'm going to share today some aspects of my own journey in terms of purpose, because I want people to really sit with the depth of this and show you what it means when you go all in, show you the gorgeous soul that you are, the powerful being that you are, and what you can actually create for yourself, because we are all master creators, and this has been stripped from us. This power, this wisdom, not knowledge, because knowledge comes from the brain, right? Well, that's how I interpret it. This is wisdom. This is your soul wisdom coming through. And that's why the masculine comes in and triggers you to remember who you are. You're not all this shit, right? You're not that. You're not those triggers. You're none of those things. So they're bringing it all up to remind you, you are a freaking powerful soul. Get into your divinity. Remember who you are. So, purpose. Your purpose is very much part of your soul blueprint. Now, my journey has been what it is, right, for me. I was activated, had a very, very intense Kundalini awakening. I didn't even know who the heck I was for about 18 months. My world was just chaos, everything. And I mean, absolutely, in the last 7 years, everything that I knew or thought I was or identified as has completely disappeared out of my life. Gone, just vanished. It was not comfortable. It was scary. And there's if you're on this journey, you know that you get brought to your knees multiple times, and you have to go inwards to pick yourself up. I want to share where I'm at today because I want people to really resonate with the truth and the powerful being that you are, because you're no different to me. So this is not about me bragging or anything along those lines. It's about me activating something within whoever's listening to this and is ready to be activated and be inspired, and to come into, when I talk about activation, I'm talking about that soul remembrance that you are no different to me. This is oneness. So my life today is incredible. When I look back on my journey, and I'm going to talk some numbers today because I want people to resonate, like really resonate, that this is a freaking gift. My life today, I can't even put it into words. I'm not even going to, but I want to talk particularly about my business and what I'm doing. So I work with clients all around the world. It's phenomenal. I get to support and guide others into remembering who they are, that they are a limitless being. So I'm working with clients, helping them shift through the waters of this twin flame path, your ascension ultimately, reminding you that you're a limitless being. I work with clients on their business to help them elevate and expand, or those that are coming into business. I work with people that need guidance and support around coming in, like wanting a new role, wanting a promotion, really coming into their limitless power and really realizing that you become the embodiment of that role before it actually shows up. I work with people in terms of, bringing energy into the workplace, looking at your cultural team from an energetic perspective. This is the stuff that I do every single day. And none of this I was doing prior to this journey, by the way. So I've been doing this now about 2 years. In these 2 years, and particularly in the last, I would say 8 months, 10 months since I've really stepped into my abundance frequency, it's probably going to floor a few of you. And this is just me showing up. No marketing, never spent any money on marketing. I'm just in my abundance frequency and I'm in purpose, and I've fully embodied it. And I have put through over $250,000 of sales in my business. And I don't work the ridiculous hours that I used to work. I simply just don't. I don't work these 60 hours. But I'm the embodiment of my purpose. This is the gift. And it's not about the money. I couldn't care less about the money. It's about me showing up and showing others how to come into their soul frequency, to remember who you are and to not give your power away, which I'm going to talk about how we give it away. And that you are the divine feminine and masculine, and you are the embodiment of your sacred union. No wanting, no needing, no desperate energy, no separation over here. You are no different to me. You are a beautiful, powerful soul that has been going through your ascension process. And your soul blueprint is all going to come online as you are ready, as your soul knows you're ready. Now, my soul pushed me there very quickly. And I knew straight away. I knew, because I'm the soul, right? That knowing is the soul. It's your pure consciousness. So you just know, but you've got to release all these layers. My life, I travel when I want. I have full and utter flexibility over my lifestyle. And what I've done is I have removed a lot out of my life. I've removed my old job, my house, the city I lived in. And so anyone that writes a comment on my channel, this is a caveat that I'm putting in here. If anybody writes on my channel, oh, but it's all very well, Kathleen, you've got all this money and blah, blah, blah. That's false. I was not raised like that. I left school at 16. I do not have a university degree. I just know who I am, and now I've remembered who the fuck I am, and that's the difference. That is the difference on this journey. It's like I've always known, and then you get clouded over, and then it's like, boom, that's right, that's who I am. What the hell am I doing playing around in this other version of me? And that's this journey. And this is not ego, this is me in my divine presence saying, you have been given a flipping gift. You know, I was raised in a very, very middle-class family. You know, I was the third daughter. I was always the menace for sure, because I just saw past all the BS, right? Even from a young age. And, you know, I was the child that, you know, don't lick the bowl, Kathleen. And I'm like, I am picking that bowl up and I'm going to lick it right in front of you, Mum. That was me. But that's the essence of us, right? We've got that spark in us, and we are here to destroy some of these shitty conditions. So, you know, I was doing that at a young age. Then you get on life, and then you get caught up, right? Caught up in life, and it snowballs, and before you know it, you are fully out of alignment. And so the soul wakes you, this beautiful, what we believe is like, I don't know, some datum going on, activates me, and you know, suddenly I'm going through a spiritual awakening and Kundalini downloads, visions, like I just, yeah, can't put it into words. And everything just toppled over. Like the tower, I think I had about 20 tower cards just come flying in my front door, and everything crashed and burned. My finances were a complete and utter mess. Yes, I was earning good money, but I don't know where it went, because I couldn't hold that frequency of it, right? Because I was still in lack and limitation. And so, you know, this is the gift. It really is the gift. But I was broken on the floor. I was devastated. I spent years being in lack and limitation. I spent years flying around like, I don't know, thinking that I was just never, ever going to figure me out ever again, and everything was just destructive and destroyed. And, you know, and I spent months, years sobbing, crying, picking myself back up, breaking down at work, in that obsessive addictive energy. Like, yeah, I have hit the ground and I have pulled myself up. But here's the thing, you are a beautiful, limitless being. And this abundance that I'm talking about, I don't chase it. I shine my light. It's all to do with alignment. It's all about remembering that you are the soul and you are here to radiate. Okay, it's often referred to, we often hear this through, I hear this a lot with clients, they feel like they're the lighthouse. Yes, you are the lighthouse. And the lighthouse does not chase the ship. No, the lighthouse is very anchored into those rocks, right? Stable, anchored in, masculine energy, radiating out, feminine energy, radiating out the light, right? So the ships, for the ships to see, not to chase them. This is where you're coming towards. So many of you that I work with, or resonate with me, what you find on this journey is that your jobs tip over. I work with a lot of people that have worked in very, you know, if you want to 3D this for a moment, senior exec, CEO type roles, and they're not employed and haven't been for the last few years. That is because your soul has got something better for you. It's got something different. And the way that you will run businesses, or run a leadership team, or sit on a board, or I don't know, be the plumber, like it doesn't bloody matter, right? The way you will do your job will be different. It will not be from ego. And so those jobs are not going to come through to you until you get out of the ego structure and become the embodiment and attract in what your soul blueprint is on that soul blueprint. You will not be able to function in these jobs. And you don't want to, actually. You don't want to at all. The way we will do business is going to be different. And those structures are going to turn upside down. They're going to collapse from within as more and more of us rise that work in these places. So many of you will be called back into these businesses to help collapse some of these structures. So things like KPIs, stripping labour back, putting people into boxes, performance appraisals, and saying that you fit into this box. They're all going to go. They're going to be different. I'm not saying they're not going to be replaced with something else, but they're not going to be the way they are. You know, I look back on that, right? A performance appraisal. How is it that somebody at a level of, like, when you look back on it, it's like people measure me, I'm just going to use me as an example. They measure me, they say this is the criteria, and this is your performance. And by the way, just the small little message here that they don't realize is I'm going to measure you based on my level of consciousness and my expansion and my soul, wherever that's at, right? And it's like, even though I might be 20 years older than you, it doesn't mean that I'm at the same level of consciousness as you. Like, this is how messed up this planet's got, right? So nobody can measure you, nobody can validate you, and this is all going to shift. No, like, I had I won't go into the story, but essentially this is someone that's, a family member very close to me there, who runs quite a big venue, and their boss rang them up and said, oh, you're about $20,000 deficit for the end of financial year. It's going to be really hard for you to make that up. And I said to them, you know what, you need to go back to your boss and say, hey, my team is abundant. We are not in this limitation anymore, and this is where it's going to shift. I have a very, very healthy business. I have a very structured business. I have a beautiful soul, very comprehensive business plan. But it is soul-driven, not ego-driven. It is expansive. It is limitless. It is not saying this is the profit line, and so to achieve that I need to strip all this stuff back. Not at all. Quite the opposite, actually. For me to keep expanding, I have to spend, i.e. lease an office, which has got 3 big spaces in it. These are all the things that I've created. This is the conscious creator within me. I have got this beautiful space that is a 4-minute walk from my home that soul brought in for me, and I am the soul, so I've brought this in. You will see shifts you'll see things happen on YouTube as I'm creating it's a beautiful place that I've set up, and it's my home away from home. And I never in a million years thought that I could create what I've created. I had a couch delivered here today. I sat on my couch and I actually had some tears, and I'm like, wow, 2 years ago, this was not where I was at. And, I was just starting out, and because soul was pushing me the whole time. And I've created this lifestyle because I went all in. I went, screw this. This is not who I am, and I know it's not who I am. And so I'm just going to move through this energy, and it's going to be horrible for sure until it's not, until I fell in love with my awakening, and I fell in love with what I was discovering and remembering about myself, until I fell in love with waking up every single morning and knowing that I get to create my own reality based on what my soul's got for me. Now, where do we give our power away on this journey? And initially these things are really important, okay? So when I was first awakened, my Kundalini was so, my third eye, my crown chakra, everything blew open so quickly. And we're, stumbling around on this, trying to figure out what all this energy is. And, I just wanted to have a glass of wine, right? With a man, not have a Kundalini activation. Anyway, apparently I was getting a lot more than what I bargained for. But, when I was going through the early stages of this, if you followed my journey, you'll know I was fainting, having massive accidents, major surgery on an arm. I had about 1.5 years of rehabilitation on that, major concussion. I was a mess. And I can laugh now, but I wasn't at the time. I can assure you, I was definitely in my limitations. I was definitely in my, woe is me. I was in my pit. But I started doing things got quite drawn to oracle cards. And obviously I went into my stalky psychic days, but I got out of that probably about within 8 months of being awakened. But what I've realized is this: we give our power away. So and we read a lot of spiritual books, right? Now, I'm not saying don't do those things, because we are drawn to those things, but you will reach a place where you realize you need none of it anymore. Because you are the soul. You are literally everything. You are your higher self. You are your spirit team. You are the masculine. You are creating your masculine through a remembrance of, oh shit, I am the twin flame. You are the powerhouse, and my psychic gifts are so, like, they came online really quickly, but it's the more you ground in and stop pushing your masculine energy away by seeking external for it, and you realize it all belongs to you, and that anchors down, your psychic gifts will really ramp up. Now, it will be different for everybody. You know, my clairs, they're all open. Like, it's not just one. It's everywhere. And you don't need, you become your own oracle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't need any kind of person to validate you. You're not looking for that in the masculine. You're not looking at that on social media. Like, you just get rid of it all. Like, I don't meditate anymore. It's like I woke up one day and went, I just don't want to meditate. You find you don't like oracle cards. I just don't use any of that stuff anymore because I am my own oracle. That's the powerhouse that you become. And yes, I have beautiful friends that are on this journey that me as the soul magnetized in to help me. But what you come into resonance with is, as a soul, you are magnetizing in things like spiritual books, whatever comes up on your algorithm, your synchronicities. You're creating that as the soul to remind you until you no longer need those reminders, and you've tuned really into your soul frequency, and you're connected as the higher self. You're the embodiment of the higher self. You've got a direct channel to source, direct channel to your own higher self, because you are the higher self. That's the whole point, right? Is that we become the embodiment of our soul. You won't need a lot of that stuff anymore. And so if you're in that frequency still where you need those things, that's great. You know, and I'm not suggesting that I will never pull an oracle card out. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you will get to a place where you just trust your knowing, and you know you're being guided, and you don't even need all those synchronicities and all those things anymore, because you've embodied those layers within you, that you've become the higher self. So you just know, this is what I've got to go do next. Now, for me, my big thing is about helping people in this space, particularly in purpose. It doesn't mean necessarily a business owner. It could be somebody that's in going back into a different role. Really help them come into energetic alignment. You know, yes, there's the ascension path and helping people through that, but it's this is the journey, this is sacred union, all this other stuff around you, when you can just shift your whole physical reality. So if you are in that energy where you believe that you need to have money to create what I've created, I'm telling you, you don't. I literally showed up, I paid for a domain name, and that was it. And everything out I've just created as I've moved along, and as I've energetically resonated with what I've got to do, I then, to attract abundance, you must align with abundance, okay? Because you are abundant. All of this stuff, all of this power has been stripped from us. All this wisdom's been stripped from us, and this is what you're coming back in to remember. You know, if there's a role that you want to work in, it's about coming into alignment with the role before you see it show up in your physical. And it will happen. You are the master creator. Manifesting. You don't need to manifest on this journey. Manifesting, take what you like from this, is from ego. You are the embodiment of your soul blueprint. You start to align, you start to create, and the manifestation is that, right? So I don't get out of bed and go, right, I want to manifest X amount of dollars today, right? That's not my groove at all. I just embody my light. I'm that lighthouse, and I support and guide others to go back to their soul. Essentially, trust yourself, trust you, get to know you as a soul, and everything, the magic will unfold from there. So yes, you do not need to have millions of dollars. You don't even need to have $100 in the bank, because you are a limitless being, and your soul is bringing you into alignment. I can tell you, my life was so out of alignment, it wasn't even funny. And today it's quite different, and I don't focus on money. I don't care about money. And believe me, I have in the past. I live a life of freedom, flexibility, shining my light, helping humanity raise their consciousness, essentially, wherever that is for them. And, you know, when you get out of this limited version of yourself, the expansion that comes is incredible. Like, it's really, really incredible. You will find that you will not hold or want to have a 3D relationship, because I'll tell you why, unless it's a high vibrational soulmate, because you will not resonate with those old versions of you anymore. You just won't. You simply will not resonate. And it's not until you've energetically shifted beyond that that you won't want it. You will not want a relationship that's based on conditions. You want expansion and growth out of a connection. That's it. That is your main thing, right? And trust me, the twin will give you all of that. You will only want somebody that's in your life that's conscious and wants to grow and expand with you. Not about, I need you to fulfill me. I need you to solve my problems. I need you to help me, I don't know, sort my couch out, you know? Do all that stuff. I'm not saying that people don't come and help, but it's that underlying, I don't need it. I don't have all these expectations. And the paradox is, this is when everything shows up in your physical reality. Everything that you've wanted and desired is there for a reason, but you must embody it, okay? You become the embodiment of union. You don't chase union, you become the embodiment of it. I don't chase my clients, I become the embodiment of the frequencies that I know that I need to work with and that my soul will bring in, because I'm meant to be working with them, because we are in alignment, we are in resonance with each other, and they are ready for my energy. They are ready to work with me. And you know, it's like a job. You will not you will attract in that beautiful role that you want, that your soul knows that you need to be doing, whatever it is, right? When you are the embodiment of it. But whatever you sit in the lack and holding on to, I must stay in this marriage for financial reasons, I must stay in this job for financial reasons, then you're missing your power. You're giving your power away to something outside of you. And your power is within. Your power is getting to remember you're the soul. You are your higher self. You are it all. You are creating everything. And I mean everything. So what are you creating from? So I wanted to just show up today and share a little bit about my journey. You know, it's incredible. And I work with phenomenal people around the world in so many different places. You know, I'm organizing a retreat next year. I'll be doing more of that stuff. You know, just, yeah. When you let go of what you think you need to hold on to out of fear, everything opens up and it's incredible. This is my soul blueprint coming online. Well, it's been online for a while now. And I want to really activate people to get off the relationship and become into the embodiment of who you are actually meant to be. No chasing, just showing up in your divine self, in your sovereignty, in your power, knowing who you are and not playing small anymore. And yes, it's a process, but once you really hit that soul blueprint and you've come into that sacred union with self, everything shifts. Like this entire life just shifts for you, and it will happen quite quickly. You'll be very surprised. So the first part of this, yes, is challenging, but it gets better, and then you fall in love with it, and you fall in love with yourself actually, and you fall in love with it all. And you crave expansion, because that's who you are. You're the soul, right? You're here to evolve and expand through experience. So you create, and then you create the experience, then you feel into the experience, and you learn and expand from it. It's a very transformative path that you're on, and you've been awakened to make some incredible shifts through humanity. That is what we're here for. You're here for so much more than just having a relationship with your twin, with the divine masculine. Sacred union is your purpose, it's your soul blueprint, it's everything. It's not just about the masculine. It really isn't. Anyway, I just wanted to share a bit of that today because I know what it's like to sit in that lack and limitation, but I also equally know what it's like to lean in, go all in. But if you want to make these shifts, you must become the embodiment before you see it in your physical reality. It's called blind faith. It's called trusting my power, trusting my soul, trusting that I'm creating these synchronicities to remind me, oh, that's right, I am on this path. I am on my ascension. That's right, I have a remembrance that I'm here for a big purpose. And many of us, like me, have been in purpose for a long time, but we didn't realize it. Now I know exactly where I'm meant to be and where I'm heading and what my soul's got for me, and who knows where I'll land. I mean, it's, you've been given a gift to awaken. So lean in, beautifuls, and just remember that this is happening for you. And if you're feeling in that energy of like real lack and limitation, I was there. I was absolutely there. And, I've had to work my way through those energies like everybody else. I've had to sever relationships that are no longer in resonance with me. I've had to move cities. I've had to get rid of my home. Everything in my physical world is gone. The whole lot. Anything that I had has pretty much gone. And right down to even my car. Like everything's changed. Everything. And that's because I went, I want more. I know that this journey is happening for me, and so I'm going to lean into it. So anyway, really hope that this resonates. You are the powerhouse. Stop giving your power away. Go inwards. The other thing that I want to say here is I have this beautiful community group of, I've got a lot of people in there now, and that I'm working with. And I love it. It just feeds my soul. And that's going to be expanding beyond what it is today. Probably not till later on this year. But, it's, to think that I've created that at a soul level is phenomenal. And I never would have thought I could have created this lifestyle for myself. And, everyone that's on this journey can do exactly this, whatever it looks like for you, okay? Every journey is unique and individual. All our purpose is unique and individual. So whatever resonates with you. But I know where I'm at. And yeah, I want to say this as well. Things like, it's so easy to put obstacles up, right? So things like the website. I've created my own website. I've not paid anyone to touch it. I've done the whole lot myself. Nobody has, nobody's done a lot for me. It's all my own creation. It's only now that I'm starting to say, right, I need to pay people to help me, elevate. And it's learning to go, yeah, I need that for me to elevate. I'm going to attract in the right people, the right souls that are in the right frequency to help me expand and elevate even more, because I know my voice needs to go beyond where it's at. I get downloads about this all the time. So no, there are no obstacles. If you put an obstacle up, you are creating your own obstacle. That's the big thing. Any obstacles is your creation, because you are the master creator. So are you creating obstacles, or are you creating expansion, transformation, and solutions and options? I will leave everybody on that note, sending so much love.